Okay, yeah. So this video, I wanted to go into. I think I wanted to take a slightly deeper dive into. I think a topic that I did briefly cover before about why the world. Okay, why is it that especially like older women and or ugly. Okay, pretty much women who are hindered by their ability to attract higher quality men. Why these women always see the world as a hard and difficult and just rough, disgusting place. Okay, because you really got to look at this. Okay, men and women, we are just on two completely different playing fields in life from the start, and then from our time spans of from our timetables of what we're seeing and what we're acknowledging and what we're learning and how we're using it to our advantage. See, we're really on two completely different. I mean, we really are. Women are from Venus and men are from Mars or something like that. That is 1,000% true. And I think it's one of those things. See, well, it's a known fact. Just never listen to. I mean, most women just don't have much real logic, and I'm going to dive into that into this video of why that is. Um, but you have to look at the core of how we start out in life and how we grow and how the outside affects us depending on if we're a man or we're a woman. So, okay, let's say like a little boy's born, right? Little boy's born. He's cute as a little boy, so he's kind of getting everything he wants. And then the mommy will kind of give him what he wants. But then if the dad's around or the dad's there, they're going to start putting setting boundaries, setting rules like you got to learn this, do that. So by the time the boy's like 4 or 5, he's like he's really like he's being influenced by his father and other male role models in his life to become stronger. You see what I'm saying? Like push him down. Like I mean, if you're playing with him, push him down. Don't let him catch something that you got in your hand. Don't let him catch you when he's chasing you. You see, it's like he's learning. See, little boys, they're learning to become stronger and the more aggressive and to get what they want. To get that. One of these times, Uncle Charles is going to push me, and I'm not going to fall. You see what I'm saying? Like men are always on that wavelength, and we're not being and nothing's being taken easy on us. I mean, relative to in comparison to a little girl. Like, see, boys, like when we go to, let's say we're old enough to go to school. See, boys always have to be much more responsible. They can't be mean to a girl. Girls will start crying. We have to be the overseer of everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, so in turn, since we're the overseer, it's just human nature to give the overseer a harder time in their path to becoming the overseer. Like, I don't know if you guys know much about the military. Let's say you go to boot camp. Well, there's also another boot camp for drill instructors. So see what I'm saying? So the drill instructors, they have to go through like three or four times worse conditions than what you're going to go through when you get to boot camp. Because they have to be able to handle it, to be the overseer and to make sure everything's okay, or worse comes to worse. And it's the same thing how society looks at boys versus girls. So the end part where like things get kind of screwed up for boys, see, like we're always kind of held to this standard of being the overseer and being the bigger, better, stronger one. And it's just nature. I'm not saying that men are like totally better, which we probably are in most cases, but the reality of it is like it's biological nature in every form of life. Like the man has to be the protector. You see what I'm saying? Like he has to be the strong protector for the potential family he's going to have later. It's just nature. Like it's what we do. You see what I'm saying? Now, on the flip side, when girls are born, they're small, they're cute. Generally on average, small, cute. Then they're protected from the mean boys and the mean girls. And you got to keep protecting them and be nicer to them and don't let them pick up heavy things. And they get the nicer, cleaner bathrooms as girls in elementary school. You see what I'm saying? Now, other girls, they'll be mean to each other because that's just what women do, because they're always in competition to get the better quality man. Always. Always. That never stops. Anywhere you go on a planet, through any species, women are always in competition to get to that stronger man. This is why women don't like each other. Okay, because their primary imperative is to become attractive to get that higher quality man. This is why women's maturity stops a lot sooner, because once they realize that men can be that men want their attention, their whole biological imperative is now complete. It's complete. That was the end goal for them. You see, nowadays we got, like, we got college, and you got to make good money to live, and blah blah blah. So, like, there's a little extra into that, but at the core of it, women generally stop maturing much sooner, because like it is in those prime fucking years, because it's like, because their brain clicks on, like, men want my attention, so everything's done now. All mental growth is done. But and that leads up to the main topic of this video. Why women all of a sudden coincidentally think the world is evil. Okay, first off, look at the quality of woman who says this, right? The type of women who thinks the world is evil and blah blah blah. See, usually the women who thinks the world is evil, and I mean, like, the world is like this horrible place to live in. They don't want to have kids here, blah blah blah. Those are the women who were hot. They were used to that entitlement treatment of being, or I should say, cute. They were cute. They were used to that entitlement treatment of being young and youthful. And then for whatever reason, they lost it. And reality, and they started to see some actual reality. They started to kind of come down off of their prime, whether it was age, or they had kids, or they just got fat, or they just, like, mutated to ugly beasts. Like, see, now that they actually started to see the reality that men live with every day. You see what I'm saying? Most men are gonna deal with that. Okay, unless, like, you're like the like the 1% of guys who, like, model good looks, 6 foot tall, and women know you got a lot of money. If you don't fit that, all of that population right there, then as a man, you're pretty much living in reality. Okay. And you know what the reality is. But it's like I said, see, women, they don't really, a woman can never, ever, ever properly understand reality. She cannot, simply because she is a woman. That's why, like, they cannot do it. It is literally impossible for a woman to truly understand and acknowledge reality and come to terms with it. You see what I'm saying? And this is why women hate grown men when they don't care about, like, worldly issues, because, see, men, we already knew children were starving around the world. We knew and accepted it. And we know, now some men choose to do something, some men don't. But for the most part, we're pretty much stoic about it by the time we get older, because it's just like we've already known. See, but the difference is, see, girls, see, when they were young and hot and they were in their prime, you see, no, you will never find a woman who is, let's say 21, and she's hot and she's getting plenty of male attention. You will not find a woman in this demographic who knows how to spell feminism. You can't do it. You can't do it because they don't, because it's woman. See, like, because it's a woman's nature. Because as long as a woman is winning in her gender's imperative, she doesn't give a fuck about the rest of the world. Her parents' house could burn down. They can go live in, and her parents can go live in homeless shelters in Pakistan, and she won't care as long as her gender's imperative is reaching the goal, which is attracting at least one good quality man in relation to her life. She won't care. She doesn't know how to spell feminism. She doesn't know anything about gender equality. See, the only time those things come up is when they're lacking. You see, the only time a woman's brain has to start thinking, pretty much, is when she's lacking relative to her social circle. Okay, perfect example. The girl Kendall Jenner, right? I think that's the one. The only one that I ever thought was like that was attractive. She's like tall and skinny. I think she did like a Pepsi commercial, and they made fun of her. That girl is like in pictures, pretty much before she starts moving too much and talking too much. I think she's gorgeous. But I stumbled across an interview with her on Jimmy Fallon on Saturday, or was The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. I think that's something like that. And as soon as I seen her walk and talk, I can see why. I can see why it's difficult for her to keep a man. It's something about how she moves. Like, she's just not sexy. She's not sexy. If she can just sit there with makeup on and just look at a camera with a straight face, then I think she's gorgeous. But as soon as she starts to move, like, she immediately turns into like that 60-year-old first grade teacher to me. Like, she's just in all honesty, she's actually quite repulsive to me when she starts moving. But see, as long as that woman can get male attention from Instagram or whatever, and have guys comment, "Oh, you're so beautiful," blah blah blah. See, she will not care, absolutely will not care about any inequality in the world. Okay, she won't know how to spell it. She just don't want it. It doesn't exist. See, you got to remember, the only time anything exists to a woman is when it's of value to the woman. You see, if it's not of value to said woman, then it doesn't exist. It's not human to her. Okay, like for another example, let's say like how women will claim. I came across this on Reddit this morning. I really gotta get off Reddit, man, because Reddit is really like just not a good place to be. But I'm traveling, I only speak English very well. So it's my only outlet is, social media apps. So I got on Reddit, man, and this is a very common occurrence. Like, girls complain that they're, ugly and blah, 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 and they can't find a man. And then 10 minutes later, they're looking for ways how to not talk to a certain man. You see, that fuels my point. Okay, if a woman does not deem you valuable, then you do not exist. You see what I'm saying? You do not exist. You are not, as a man. Let's say if you're trying to talk to a girl and she's not the prettiest girl, but she has a good attitude. She looks like she can be a good mother. So there's other reasons why you talk to women who aren't physically attractive. Yeah, I totally get that. But see, like now, if she does not see value in you, then you simply do not exist. You are not a qualifiable human to her. She has no regard for you. Okay, and the only time women will come down off of that is when their self-esteem has taken a hit. Usually they have to realize that their market value plummeted after they hit 30, or they've had 2 kids by 2 different men, or something like that. See, something has to attack their self-esteem. Not attack it, but something has to pretty much humble them. In meaning that, look, you are not a princess. Look at your life. Anybody on the outside looking in will see you're not a princess. And then that's usually when it starts to come down. And usually at that point, that's when the world is an evil place, because they're not a princess. You see, because that's nothing. See, women, they usually deal with things in extremes. Like, either it's all good or it's all bad. They're just never just, "Oh, I'm just chilling." You see what I'm saying? It's either, "Oh, I'm drastically in love," or, "Oh, we're in the shambles of getting a divorce." It's never just, "Oh, yeah. That's just my husband. I love him. Yeah." You very rarely, but see, the ones who who are in the middle, see, those women stay married for decades. You don't hear any problem. Now you wouldn't know they exist because they're not causing any problems, and it is kind of opposite for men. But yeah, see, so yeah, I hope I explained a little more in depth, like, why the world becomes evil to women, and why the world is always hard. See, it's evil, it's difficult, it's rough because either A, they could never get the man that they had, that dream man in their head, or B, they could at one time previously and they've fallen from grace. And B is usually like the worst out of the two in reality, because see, like, because they know what they could have had because they had it before and they lost it. So they have to spend the rest of their lives remembering that. See, that's why when women get older, they run around with these scrapbooks with a million pictures of them when they were younger and hotter, and they try not to keep pictures of them when they're like 40 and 50. That's why. Like, and like I said, like, I think it's actually a bit more sad to be once the hot woman, like the hot girl, and then fade away. like Nicole Scherzinger and the path that Emma Watson's taken. I'm commenting on them because I'm saying their names, but I mean like what I really mean to say is women like those women. Like Emma Watson, she's on that path, you see. And see, the reason why Emma Watson is on that path, I really believe that Emma Watson, there was a point in her life where she really could have made a good wife. I truly believe that there was a point in her life where she would have made a great partner and a great wife. But see, like I said, with most women, the more successful they become in anything other than reproducing and being with a man, if they're successful, the more successful they are in anything else, it usually completely destroys their ability to be a good companion. Because what that does to a woman, see, if she's successful in anything else other than giving giving birth to children and being a companion, if she's good at anything else, if it's like, let's say, making this AirPod case, right? If she gets great at, if she excels at doing this, she will always hold her standards as what she was when she was 21 and hot, in addition to the worth and value of making this case. But see, the thing is, like I said in other videos, see, they want to believe that they'll be 21 forever, but they pretty much max out about 23, 24, and then they just slowly go down and down and down and down and down. But see, into a woman's head, she's thinking that she's going up and up and up and up and up because she's getting, because she's retaining more knowledge on top of having, this valuable skill. She thinks that she's going to be like a man, and it's going up and up and up and up because she's retaining value, but her value's going down, so she can't keep a man after that. But the girl who's making this, she's see, the fact that she has this skill or value, whatever it is, like Emma Watson, like she has the value of being Emma Watson, or Nicole Scherzinger. She has the value of being Nicole Scherzinger. So she's going to keep reassuring herself that no, she does deserve better because she's Emma Watson. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's going to keep doing it. So she's going to keep shooting higher and higher and higher. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way for women, because when they shoot higher, 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 well, those men are usually shooting for younger women, the better quality women for what they are in existence of being woman. He has that choice. So these women, they end up alone and alone and alone. And no matter how many books they read, no matter how many Gucci shoes, no matter how many Louis Vuitton dresses, nothing will ever bring back the value that they were when they were 20. And it's just a sad, and this is why the world turns into an evil place for them. Everything's evil. There's everybody's scam artists, and why is the world so mean? And the world's mean because your youth and beauty and fertility ran out. So you're starting to dive into actual reality, and it's brutal. You see, to have reality pushed on you after you spent the first 27 years of life entitled, it's just jaw dropping. It's torturous to them. Like the world it's a terrible place. You see, it's awful. And see, and the thing, like I said, no matter how many Gucci shoes, Louis Vuitton bags, it will never bring back that level of entitlement that they had before. So they have to spend the rest of their lives living in constant misery. Like I said before in a previous video, they pretty much just end up zombies. They're the equivalent. Women over 30 who are single, never married, no kids, especially no kids. They end up zombies. Okay, they're just zombies. They have no applicable use to the world. They know it. Nobody really wants them around anymore. Everybody just kind of tries to get them out. Unless they're gonna bring around some fresh baked cookies or some shit like that. Nobody really wants them. It's like if I'm lonely, I may pump and dump you, and that's if I'm in the area type of thing. I'm not getting up and traveling to get to you. It's just sad, man. But that's the reality, and that's why the world ends up a sad, evil place. I said, like the girl like Nicole Scherzinger, man, like. I feel bad for her. Like, if I had to pick between being a 40-year-old virgin who lived in his mother's basement or being Nicole Scherzinger, if I could take my brain out of my head and pick which body to put it in, and with their lifestyle and with their culture and lifestyle, and everything that's going on, I would pick the 40-year-old virgin. Because Nicole Scherzinger's like, see, it looks good because she has, because she was very successful. She was a very successful woman. It looks great. But the reality of it is that woman, I promise you, that woman is crying herself to sleep every night. I promise you. She's crying herself to sleep every night because she knows there is nothing she can do to get that prime back. And if Emma Watson doesn't watch it, she's pretty much already there, but she can probably, there's a slim chance she can, bounce back and get off that feminism BS and find her a halfway decent man. It's a possibility. She can do it, because she can do it, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Because she's already dove into wearing Gucci, wearing super expensive clothing that is not sexually attractive. You see, and okay, now I'm gonna touch on that for a brief moment. See, the reason why Gucci and Louis Vuitton, like a lot of their clothing is unattractive. Yeah, I mean, because you got to be honest, a lot of it is. A lot of the shoes, the pants, the shirts, the jackets they make are not sexually attractive. See, and they do that for a reason. Okay, see, they do that to make old, ugly women or women who will never be 21 and hot again. They do that to welcome them into the awkward and the weird. It's like that. It's awkward. It's like attracts like. They're awkward and weird now, so they're at home. You see, that's why those expensive brands like Gucci, go on Gucci's website. I guarantee you probably wouldn't want to buy anything on there. Burberry is not horrible, I don't think. But I've never been on a Burberry website. I've been to a Burberry store. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't great, but there's a Burberry store here in Prague in the city center. And I've actually got some friends out of there who work in there. But go Gucci, Louis Vuitton, I guarantee you wouldn't probably want to buy anything in there at all. Like I said, and that is a target crowd. It's for the old, ugly, awkward people, awkward women who can't go out and get what they really want. So they feel at home being old and awkward with awkward clothing. So it's just like attracts like at that point. And it's a win-win. That's the reality. But like I said, Nicole Scherzinger, that I would rather be a 40-year-old virgin man living in his mother's basement than to be Nicole. In the reality of it, I would rather be that. I would take the 40-year-old virgin every time because she cannot fix it. She's going to die alone, sad, crying with a glass of $1,000 wine and $4,000 shoes because with this just uneasy, empty feeling in her life, and she knows exactly why the feeling's there, and she's going to keep trying to fill it up with buying more shoes and buying more $4,000 bottles of wine, and it's not going to work.